Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Path, where we are continuing on in the Inherited Turnabout, End Part 1. Alright, so I think we were about to speak to Ray about Katherine Hall. Mr. Shields, could you tell me what kind of person Miss Hall is? Huh? Miles, don't tell me. You're also interested in Katie. No, she's too old for him, and I think he's only interested in one person anyway. No. Well, all joking aside, all Uncle Ray can say is, the Kate I know is a truly admirable woman. For 18 years, she has always wanted to remain here and wait for Master's return. However, she was driven out of the mansion by Master's relatives. Those jerks. What? She was driven out of the mansion? That's because Kate isn't related by blood to Mr. Master. With no family and her job taken from her, she could only live on with the song and dance that Mr. Master had taught her. Well, she's now retired as a world-famous actress, though. She's a bit young to be retired, though. Why did she retire? Because she had already saved up enough money to buy this mansion. It seems she even got back the Angel's recipe that had been taken by the Master Group. Aww. So she got back the mansion and the Angel's recipe all for his sake. This mansion, where she lived with Mr. Master, had been everything to her. She probably just wanted to take back everything that she lost. Remind me how old... I think she's in her 40s? No, she's only 34. Okay, that's really young. Wait, where's Master? He's in his 50s. Okay, 57. Wow, poor guy. It seems that Mr. Shields sympathizes with Miss Hall. But you could also say that her actions have taken away everything Mr. Master had. Yeah, in a way. Interesting. Okay, we got some logic. Do we have anything to connect it to? Angel's recipe. Ah, so if she has the Angel's recipe, and whoosh! The method used to set off the poison gas is explained in the Angel's recipe. And the current owner of the Angel's recipe is Miss Hall. Ah, so that means... Indeed. It means that it is possible she knew how to set off the poison gas. With this, we can expose her lies for what they are. Alright. Got it. Now all that's left is to wait for the results of the teapot. Oh, what an abrupt... Oh, of course, Binks, of course. Whatever, I'm not gonna even say anything anymore. Ugh. So close to it to be continued. Alright, everybody's here. April 2nd, 2:33 p.m. Excuse me. I have a report. We have detected traces of normalium from the teapot. You can't be serious. It's just like Mr. Edgeworth said. Darn it! Did Mr. Edgeworth take the title of the best from me again? Mr. the Best, it seems like you have an obsession about being the best. But when you're on a case, Winning and losing is of no importance. What are you saying? Obviously, it's best to be the best at everything. You have much character development waiting ahead of you. I know, because I've been there. Now just go find yourself an ace attorney to fall in love with and he'll set you straight. Or she. I'm not judging if you're straight. If you can't understand that, then you have no business being a prosecutor. What? Oh. Please stop harassing Sebastian. Sebastian, a person of your caliber has no need to listen to such things. Justine! Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Mommy. I'm not your mother. I mean, she kinda acts like it, though. Please leave this to me. Or at least a big sister, you know? Why don't you go check on the victim's condition? Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll be right back then. Alright, I'll be waiting. Judge Courtney is much more troublesome than Mr. DeBest. Well then. Miss Curator, can you tell us why Normalium was discovered in the teapot? I was not aware that it contained such a chemical. I suppose it may have been an ingredient from the detergent I had used. So you're saying that you did not put it in deliberately? No, of course not. There is no way for me to have known how to create the poison gas. Despite being a former actress, it seems you're not very good at lying. Yeah. What do you mean? The angel's recipe is in your possession, and the method to create the poison gas is contained inside that recipe book. So you must have known how to create it. I'm surprised you knew about that. Miss Curator, is this true? It's true that information about the poison gas is contained in one of the recipes. However, just because I saw it does not mean that I was responsible for the crime. Could you tell me what set off the poison gas? It was caused by the victim heating the lid of the glass case with a burner. I see. If he locked himself in that room of his own will, and then set off the poison gas, wouldn't that suggest suicide? Does she intend to deny it until the bitter end? I think so, bro, because all these killers, that's what they do. Even ones who were supposedly sweet and nice like her. Furthermore, I wouldn't have been able to obtain a chemical like Megatoxin X. That may be true, but you could have stolen it from someone else. That reminds me, I met up with Katie a week ago and... that night was when I realized that my Megatoxin X was gone. Katie, you couldn't have. Madame Delicia always carried her medicine bag around with her. Anyone could have stolen it. That's right. I don't have any proof that she was the one who stole it. Kate, can't you tell us what you're hiding? I know you're not the kind of person who would hurt someone without a reason. Monsieur Shields, you doubt me as well? How could you? Oh, they're so cute. I still kind of ship it, but oh man. Setting a trap on one of the gallery's exhibits and then disguising the rooms. I just think it would have been impossible for anyone but the curator. That's not true. There are no guards or security cameras at this gallery. If any ill-intentioned person wanted to sneak into the gallery, it would have been an easy task for them. Then, isn't it like an all-you-can-steal buffet in here? You have to be careful. You never know when a great thief could appear. It doesn't sound like a joke when Kay says it.
Actually, Monsieur Gustavia apparently entered the gallery before it opened.
Well, I'm beat. Looks like Uncle Ray can't do anything to break down Kate's iron guard. This might be a good time to use the technique your old man taught me.
The technique? My father taught you?
Yeah, it's this thing called logic chess. He's like, I already know that. I developed it myself. Oh. Wow, throat. This case is deeply connected to the one from 18 years ago. If we just pursue the present case, it may seem like there is a lot we don't understand. But if we try turning things around... Hey, that's something all you defense attorneys do. He's like, it's just that nonsense. There might be a hint in the case from the past.
Thinking the other way around. Did my father do that too?
For example, just consider the relationship between the past case and Kate.
Miss Hall melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures 18 years ago. And today, Mr. Dover's works are on display in this gallery. It can't be she. I see. Now I know what to ask her.
That's good to hear. In that case, Uncle Ray will just watch over you as you do your work.
Miss Katherine Hall, 18 years ago it seems that you melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures. Yes, I was young and inexperienced, and I did something inexcusable.
However, isn't that why you were able to open the Zodiac Art Gallery?
I don't know what you mean. I don't understand either. Prosecutor Edward, do you seek her testimony?
Yes, I would like her to tell me about the Zodiac Art Gallery. I would like to know the reason you decided to open a gallery for Mr. Dover's artwork.
If you insist that this is related to the case at hand, I will allow it. Miss Curator, your testimony, if you please. Very well, if that will clear your suspicions about me. Now then, please testify about the Zodiac Art Gallery.
Alright.
18 years after Monsieur Master was arrested, I was able to buy back this mansion. Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery. I collected Pierre Hoquet's works from all over the world. After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery. It's wonderful that your dream has come true. What do you think, Prosecutor Edward?
The face of the statue behind her, the guy, is so distracting. He's like, ugh, eh. He seems very unhappy. Oh, I love it.
I don't believe there was anything strange about her testimony.
Judge Courtney, I believe in the courtroom it is standard to cross-examine the witness. Wouldn't you agree it's a little too early to say that there are no contradictions?
You speak like a defense attorney. Very well. Proceed as you please.
Okay. Let's press. It must have taken a lot of hard work these past 18 years to buy back the mansion.
The place full of my memories with Monsieur Master. It is the only place for me.
A little flirty dancing.
No matter what, at any cost, I wanted it back. She looks like she's having fun.
His little clapping makes me laugh. Well, she is a former actress. Singing and dancing is her livelihood.
Enough with the singing. Please continue your testimony.
Oh my god. So that reminds me that recently Coco and I watched we're watching one of the stage plays of Ace Attorney, because they have a few that are up on YouTube, thankfully. And I think it's called Turnabout Gold Medal. I think it's like the most recent one. And so we haven't finished it yet. We got like halfway through. But it is like a fever dream is the best way to describe it, because it's like totally insane. Everybody's acting really out of character. And there's like a lot of singing and dancing and rapping. And I'm like, what the frick is going on here? Even Edward is singing and dancing and rapping. And I'm like, what the hell? It's just insane. I love it. It's really good. Just because it's so wacky. But of course, you know, still have a case going on in the background. Murder, mystery, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the stage plays are great. I highly recommend them. You just look them up on YouTube. They're really funny. Some of them are a little more canon-ish than others. They're pretty good. Of course, the one thing that Coco and I are both like, no, is the fact that Godot is in the stage play I was just talking about. Like, why is he here? He's supposed to be rotting in hell. Why are you here, Godot? Go away. Sorry. Alright, let's press. Are you managing this gallery by yourself?
Yes, well, I say manage, but it only opened today. And I must continue protecting this mansion, so that Monsieur Master has a place to return to.
So she took back the mansion for Mr. Master's sake. Kate, I'm so sorry. I was powerless.
It's not your fault, Monsieur Shields. I couldn't do anything either. All I can do now is continue to protect the mansion.
Okay, you collected his works. Pierre Herquet. That's Mr. Dover's alias, correct?
Yes, it's the name he used when he worked as a sculptor in France.
About collecting his works. How did you prepare the Taurus and Gemini sculptures? Yes, that's the big question. I heard that Mr. Dover passed away before he completed these two sculptures.
I had the sculptures in the Winter Palace specially made, based on the photos I took.
Oh, could you tell us about that in more detail?
After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery.
Opening the Zodiac Art Gallery was your dream?
The truth is, I wanted to manage the gallery together with Monsieur Master.
Okay, random dance break.
Singing and dancing and all kinds of sweets. That's the kind of gallery I dreamed about.
Was she planning on staging a musical in here? Jeffrey Master disobeyed the goddess of law. It is unfortunate, but I'm afraid that your dream will never come to pass.
No! Monsieur Master is innocent. The prosecutor at the time did not believe it, but...
In order to protect Katherine Hall, Jeffrey Master gave a false confession. They were both trying to protect each other. Very tragic. Okay, is this a new... Yeah, new statement.
I prepared replicas of the sculptures in the Winter Palace based on the photos I took.
Let me quickly... Winter Palace... What was this? Okay. By photos, do you mean the ones taken in Isaac Dover's room?
Yes, you seem quite familiar with the events from 18 years ago, Monsieur Edward. So the sculptures in the Winter Palace were replicas. He melted, and I didn't even get to see them once.
No, the shredded sculptures shouldn't have been replicas. Miss Hall is obviously lying.
After all that trouble it took to prepare them, it's a shame they melted.
The The sculptures in the Winter Palace are the same Sherbet sculptures from 18 years ago. Yeah, because that liquid analysis I just saw. Unless I point that out to her, I won't be able to find out the truth. Alright, so we just need that last statement. They're not replicas if they're from the same... from years ago. Did you really think that your excuses would continue to hold up? No matter how much you lie, you can't deny the composition of the sculptures. From the analysis results, it's quite clear that the sculptures in the Winter Palace are the Sherbet sculptures Mr. Dover created.
Oi, Miley! As a pharmacist, it's my turn to shine. What we call sugar actually comes in many different varieties and tastes. Even if the sculptures were replicas, it's nearly impossible to replicate the composition.
I see. Thank you for the explanation, though I don't recall asking for one. That, Miss Hall, means you couldn't have melted the Sherbet sculptures back then. You stole them and preserved them for 18 years. I'm sorry, but she did a lot of stupid things back then. Even now. So as much as she clearly cares for Mr. Master, I feel like she actually kind of screwed him over more, you know? Kind of like what Edgeworth was saying.
Ah! What? She preserved the sherbet for 18 whole years? What the frick is wrong with her?
If you freeze it properly, it's not impossible.
Silence, please. Miss Curator, what do you have to say? I can't believe you've already uncovered so much. So you're admitting that you stole the Sherbet sculptures? No, I cannot admit to such thing. There isn't any proof that I stole them after all. Also, I couldn't have stolen the sculptures 18 years ago. I don't think they would have been easy to steal without the police noticing.
Is that so? I don't know what you did 18 years ago. As such, how can I judge how difficult it would have been to steal them?
It looks like you won't give up so easily.
I don't intend on giving up until I learn the truth.
I understand. Then I shall tell you what I did 18 years ago.
I don't know if I'll believe you, because you like to lie a lot.
On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging. During the judging, at Monsieur Master's request, I went to change the film in the camera. But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monsieur Dover's body. After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation. It was then that I witnessed Monsieur Gustavia entering Monsieur Dover's room. And that was everything I had done on that day. I don't think there is anything suspicious about my actions.
That's not your decision to make.
Mr. Edgeworth, were there any contradictions in her testimony?
For now, I should just prove that she stole the sculptures. But when could Miss Hall have stolen them? If I can answer that, her crime should come to light. Alright. More pressing. Being in the main building. I don't think that's important. Here, let's start from here. So you were the only one who could move freely during the judging period?
I certainly would have had more freedom to move about than the contestants. However, I couldn't possibly have stolen the sculptures right in front of Monsieur Master. Moreover, upon being asked to change the film, I went directly to the entryway.
At Mr. Master's request, she went to change the film in the camera. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then? I feel like it wasn't then. Damn. I'm not like 100% sure. Are they gonna ask me every time? I feel like it can't be this, right? But she did actually get the film? Oh dear lord, my brain is like, I don't know. Couldn't have been done. It couldn't have been then. I should listen to more of her testimony. But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monsieur Dover's body. Maybe it was here? So you entered Mr. Master's room before you delivered the camera? Yes, I heard the sound of something breaking, you see. Monsieur Master, are you in here? That was actually the sound of the ship breaking. Someone snuck a bite of it, you see. So here's my thought. The reason she stole them was because she was a big fangirl of Pierre Hoquet, right? So it makes sense that she would steal them after she figured out he was dead, because she'd be like, oh no, he's dead. I gotta maintain his stuff, blah blah blah, but which is still kind of psycho. When the body was discovered, was Mr. Master still judging Mr. Gustavio's room? I am sure that he was. Monsieur Master is the type of person who would carefully judge one room at a time. She found Mr. Dover's body inside Mr. Master's room. Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then. I think it may be the next one, like right after. It couldn't have been then, I should have said, okay. After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved. Wait, one. This is first. It might be around this time. Let me check. Press. Because her mentioning the tea was important for some reason, right? She gave them tea. Was there anything here? No. No. Did you do so in the same manner as today? Yes, I poured tea for everyone working on the investigation. Now that you mention it, Uncle Ray also got some tea from you that day. Kate was pushing her service cart back and forth from the patio to the main building. I see. Did anything seem strange to you then? Well, I remember your old man singing praises of her Ceylon tea. He also said something about how the saucer was chilled. There we go! Yes, because the sculptures are icy, yes! The saucer was chilled. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then? Yes! That's it. This was when you stole the sherbet sculptures. I'm sorry, but Monsieur Shields and company were at the fountain patio the entire time. Are you saying that I stole them in broad daylight? That's precisely what I'm saying. Yeah. I know. This is where she hid the sculptures to steal them right under their noses. Remember the whole thing with the tablecloth being blue? Here we go. So she did the same old thing this 18 years later. Neither my father nor Mr. Shields realized the sculpture was right in front of them. What you were pushing around was no ordinary service cart. It was the sculpture itself. But surely that would still be impossible. If she placed the sculptures in the service cart, people would notice immediately. I never said she used the service cart to move the sculptures. What? What do you mean? Then what did she use to move the sculptures around? This is what Miss Hall used to transport the sculptures. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Yeah.
And this is?
And it's wet, right? That's further proof. This is the lift trolley Mr. Dover used 18 years ago to move his sherbet sculptures. It seems the same lift trolley lies here in the fountain patio.
That's because it was originally prepared for the contest in the first place.
Are you saying she used the lift trolley to move the sculptures? Yes. Well, if the sculptures were placed on this lift trolley and then covered with a tablecloth, it could be disguised as a service cart and moved without arousing suspicion.
How could that be?
So the saucers were chilled because they were sitting on the ice sculptures? Kate, what's the meaning of this? What were you thinking? Yep.
That was truly impressive. You certainly are, Monsieur Gregory's son. After 18 years, it's hard to imagine any proof that I stole the sculptures remains. But I knew it was only a matter of time until I was suspected.
Miss Curator, does this mean you admit to stealing the sculptures?
Yes, I admit it. 18 years ago, I stole the sherbet sculptures from Monsieur Dover's room. It's just as Monsieur Edwards says. I disguised the lift trolley as a service cart, and I served tea as I made my way back and forth. It wasn't all. I also took the ice block with all the star clusters on it.
An ice block with star clusters on it. It seems familiar. That one, okay. A giant block of ice is being displayed here. It appears to be quite heavy. No, the inside must be hollow. The Winter Palace is a reproduction of Mr. Dover's room from 18 years ago. Because they had melted, my father never got the chance to see them. But those blocks of ice were also originally from Dover's sherbet salon.
The 2 sculptures and the 2 blocks of ice, I took everything I could. And then I placed empty glass cases in Monsieur Dover's room. The sculptures were all encased in glass to preserve their fine details. But the ice blocks were being displayed as they were. As per the rules, we prepared the glass cases for Mr. Dover.
So it would have been easy for her to prepare the glass cases.
In Monsieur Dover's room, there were some sculptures that were still unfinished. I thought if I melted them, it would look like the ones I stole had melted too.
Why? That's like a total psycho thing to do.
So everything you see in the Winter Palace are all original works from 18 years ago. Miss Hall, it didn't take much to get her to confess.
Then she must know. She knows it isn't enough to try her in court.
That is all I have to say. But even though I admit to stealing the sculptures, you can't arrest me for it. What? What do you mean by that?
Heavens! You're assisting an investigation without knowing this much. Perhaps you should read this book concerning the statute of limitations. Why does this look so child-friendly? Why are you carrying this around with you? Don't tell me you have this for Sebastian.
Statute of limitations?
Oh boy. The little cat. To put it simply, it's the time frame in which a suspect can be taken to court. I mean, they'll probably go over it, but I'll just take a peek at it. A book on the statute of limitations in criminal cases. Alright. Excuse me. I'm sure this is probably different depending on the states. You know, each state, or in each country. Murder. I mean, I think it's kind of weird that there's a statute of limitations to begin with. You know? You would think it'd be infinite for any crime, but whatever. Murder, 15 years. theft, 7 years. If the suspect flees to or lives in a foreign country, the time limit is on hold until the suspect returns, which is kind of weird. If possible accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached, then resumes. If charges are pressed to demand compensation, the statute is frozen for the length of that procedure. Strange. You can see it on this page, which I just looked at. Yeah.
The statute of limitations for murder is 15 years, and for theft it's 7 years. Ah!
That's right. Miss Hall's theft was 18 years ago. According to the statute, she cannot be arrested for stealing the sculptures.
So that's how it is. Stealing evidence from a crime scene is an unforgivable offense. However, for this crime at least, we have no right to pass judgment. It appears that Prosecutor Edgeworth's tepid reasoning has all been for naught.
Rude? It's not tepid, it's steaming hot. I wonder about that. I deduced Miss Hall's actions simply to expose a different crime. If she only took the sculptures, we wouldn't have found the body from 18 years ago. Exactly! That's creepy as hell! She creepy as hell, y'all! Now that I'm playing this, I'm like, I think before I was so blinded by her being so cute and shipping her and Ray and, you know, her and Master's relationship. When I saw the Let's Play of it, I was just like, oh, I feel bad for her. Oh, she's cute. Now I'm like, bruh, she's messed up. She did a lot of very bad things.
Are you saying that I hid Monsieur Dover's body?
That's correct.
But how can someone hide a body for 18 years?
And where? Because she lost the mansion, right? So I'm like, what the hell?
I would imagine it would be very difficult under normal circumstances. So you're saying the circumstances weren't normal? Are you claiming that you know where the body was hidden?
When you consider Miss Hall's actions, the answer becomes obvious. 18 years ago, Miss Hall stole something more than just Sherbert's sculptures.
If you're so confident, I would like to hear your answer. Where did Miss Hall hide the body?
This one you gotta really think about, based on the evidence. Let me look at this really quick. Like, the fact that this is bleeding? Dripping? No, that was mammalian, right? Is it in this one? Basically, you know, something frozen in order to maintain the body, right? Because that's why this has blood in there. Which one? Should I... Maybe the picture?
This is the photograph of Mr. Dover's sculptures.
Yes, and perhaps you've noticed that the victim's body can't be seen in this picture.
I do not see it. Please point it out clearly. Where in this picture can one see the body of the victim?
Okay. It's time to expose the location of the body in the photograph. The only thing that makes sense is the one that has the robe, right, covering the face, so...
The Gemini sculpture?
Yes. Well, it may look like the Gemini sculpture at first glance. In reality, this is none other than Isaac Dover himself. That's creepy, man.
This ice sculpture was the victim's body. But all I can see from this picture is an ice sculpture statue.
That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to conceal it.
Conceal it? Which piece of evidence did Miss Hall use to conceal the body?
The fluorescent cloth.
This is the cloth that was covering the sculptures in the Arden Palace.
This cloth manipulates light. With it, it's entirely possible to make something look like ice. Isn't that right, Delicia?
Yesy! When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. And when it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cool ice.
That cloth will only emit light when it is attached to a special device.
Objection!
Judge Courtney, look closely at the picture one more time. Beneath the Gemini case lies a box-shaped object attached to the pedestal. Oh yeah.
This is...
Oh, there goes Kiki barking. Alright, actually I just saw the time. Woo, did we go a little over. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. I gotta go see why my dog's barking. Until next time, have a nice day. Bye-bye.